There we go. Oh, I'm not even starting the music on time. Good grief. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jason Elliott, and it is a Thursday night, the 2nd of November. It's Thursday. It's 7:20, but, you know, the good things in life never happen on time. Welcome to the Jason Elliott Show. Tonight, we're just kind of talking about some things. A lot of people recently have said, oh my gosh, you have a Jason Elliott Show? What's the Jason Elliott Show about? So tonight, we're just going to talk about that. Apparently, my light wants to have a heart attack, so I might switch that out before I have a seizure. In the meantime, I want to know, who are you? Where are you watching from tonight? What's the weather like where you are? How's your mom doing? What are you doing to be 51% this week? Those are the questions I always ask that you never answer, but I'd still try anyway. So anyhow, you answer those. I'm going to go get a different lamp to set this light up, and then I'll be right back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in. Come one, come all. That's what we do, and it's a ball on the Jason Elliott Show. I don't know if y'all can see that. There it goes. Alright, I think we're fixed. Alright, I deserve something to drink tonight, so that's what I'm doing. Don't worry, I'm here. I'm just making my adult beverage. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And by adult beverage, I don't mean an actual adult beverage. I mean chocolate milk. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Look at this. We got everybody coming in here. Let's see who's here. Look, a bunch of people are saying hi and actually answering the questions. Kathleen is here. Byron is here. Jason Elliott is here. One of the best names out there. Charles says, hey, from Culpeper, Virginia. Mama is fine. Good. I'm glad that Mama is fine. When Mama's fine, everybody's fine. Let me see if I can make this any. There it goes. Jonathan is here. Stuart is here. Charles is still here saying, how are you? Johnny is here. Brian is here. Luann is here. Jay is here. Good, great. We got everybody. Jay's in Las Vegas. He said the mid-70s. Mom's doing great. Thanks. I'm glad. I love it. And Charles said, how are you? Well, I tell you what, I'm doing much better now that we're here on the Jason Elliott Show. The end of the music always means the beginning of the show, but kind of tonight we're just hanging out because people want to know, what is the Jason Elliott Show? Why do you do this? What's the goal? What do you do on the show? All kinds of people from all over the place have been sending me messages, stopping me on the street, and they want to know a little bit more about the show. So I figured tonight's a really good time for us just to talk about that. Kind of like what it's doing and where I want it to go. And we always talk about dreams and goals and reality. So tonight, I figured I'd let you know some of my dreams. Let me pull this up real quick so I can see your comments. In the meantime, if you look on the bottom of your screen, if you can hit that share button for me, just give me a share. And then after you've done that, or after you've decided that you're really happy to be here, just click that little heart. It's a really good time for us just to talk about that. Look at that. There we go. All right. All right, now let me see if I can see any of these comments. Jonathan Fleming says, hello, 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 hello. Nancy says, cheers. Cheers, Nancy. Like I said, it's not actually an adult beverage. It's something so much more than that tonight. This is chocolate milk with a heck of a lot of chocolate syrup in there. Yeah. I love it. I'll be up for 17 years now. Let's see here. I'm just going to scroll on through because I didn't give you all the attention you needed. Luann says, hey, hun. Hey. Luann's actually one of our future guests as soon as she gets back to me with some dates that'll work for her. Jonathan Fleming. Hi, Jonathan. Nice to see you. Maggie is watching from Newport News. Good old 757 in the house. Yes. Marcus is here. Lauren, Melinda, Aaron, Heather, Josh. Man, we got all the cool kids are here tonight. And let's see. Charles says, love the hair. Thanks. It's getting on my nerves, but you got to do what you got to do. So I do appreciate it. Tiffany is joining in. Man, we got everybody, and this is what I love. This is what it's all about. It's just a bunch of people hanging out, enjoying each other, and learning from each other. And that's really kind of what it all comes down to. So a lot of people recently have said, what? There's such thing as a Jason Elliott show. What do you do? Why do you do it? Who can do it with you? So tonight, I just wanted to kind of give you an insight as to like why I started doing this show and why I keep doing this show and what I hope this show can become. So basically, I mean, I started this thing over a year ago, which is crazy to me to think that almost every single Thursday for well over a year now, actually maybe like a year and a half, we've been hanging out together, and I love it. I thought by now, you know, I'd have like 500 viewers at a time and all this stuff, and what I realized is, you know what, like, I'm not there yet, but look how much fun we've had on this show, and look what we've learned from each other, and I think it's great. Britt says, hey, love. Hey, Britt. Maybe we'll get Britt on the show one night to talk about some things. Yeah, that'd be a good time. And my Aunt Phyllis says, hi. Hi, Auntie. So, yeah, man. Basically, over a year and a half ago, I decided that I was tired of seeing the same people doing the same thing on Facebook Live. And basically, this is what I had to deal with, is I knew that I was meant for something big. I knew that I had something that was like in the works, but I wasn't sure how to make it happen. And I'm still kind of in that position even after a year and a half of trying to figure this out, and even longer of trying to figure out like my whole life. But the Jason Elliott show started out of one night. I said, you know what? I am seeing, like I said, the same people doing the same thing on Facebook Live, and I'm not really sure what the big picture is, what their big goal is. So I'm just going to kind of give this a go and see what happens when I go live. And I went live and basically talked about sex and HIV, and after that first night, like I think we did like 3 separate sections, because at that time, Facebook Live would only allow you to stream for a certain block of time. So I think I ended up doing like 3 segments that night because everybody kept asking questions about HIV and about sexual health and how I got into the field and things like that. And I realized that night that this was my path to getting where I needed to be. So basically what we started doing is every Thursday night at 7 o'clock, we would get up and we just go live and we talk about stuff. And the show has gone through quite a bit of change and revolution and evolution, and it's been really fun. Like I said, I'm not where I want to be with it yet, but it's great. I think it's a lot of fun. And basically, here's what it comes down to, is after doing this for over a year, I realized that I'm sitting here talking for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, even sometimes an hour. I'd get up here and I would just talk and talk and talk and talk. And I always had some sort of like a lesson I wanted to share. I always had a topic that I wanted to educate about. But I always said that, you know, you have a story and your story matters. But I realized after sitting here every single week and talking myself, that I could do so much more. And that's when we started having guests come on the show. And I will tell you, some of these have been the most amazing shows ever. So our very first guest on the show was Caitlin Wernsing. And she actually came in the first week of June this year. And she talked about what it's like to be an ally for the LGBTQ community. And that show was amazing. People were asking her questions, and she's fun and spunky and great anyway. I'll give you a heads up. She's coming back for another episode soon. So she's actually going to be coming back in to talk about sexual health as well. And we're working on a series. So that was our very first guest, and I realized that was the aspect that I was missing right here, right now. Is that I always say you have a story and your story matters. Like, go out and tell your story. Like, don't be afraid to share your journey. Be proud of the steps you've taken. But what was I doing to allow people to use this forum to share their stories? So that's when we started bringing them on. And like I said, Caitlin was our first, but she's certainly not our only one. Sorry if you hear that train that's coming through. I live by the railroad tracks. We have had people come on here and most recently talk about being a breast cancer warrior and survivor. That was amazing. She was up from Kalamazoo, Michigan, Annette, and that was great. We've had the Empress of San Francisco, California, Lonnie / Mercedes / Elora. And so she's talked about what it's like to combine entertainment in the LGBTQ community with charity work and with giving back to the community. We've had Stephen from Keswick Vineyards here right in Charlottesville, right outside of Charlottesville, talk about wine. And so everybody got to ask him questions about making wine and drinking wine and all this stuff. And we've had... If nobody says bless you, I'm going to be mad. We've had all kinds of people on here to talk about all kinds of things. I'm looking for 2018 to be the year of the guests. I don't want y'all to have to listen to me talk about a lot of things because I want a lot of people to come on the show and share their journey. And that's really what the Jason Elliott Show has become. It's a chance for us to get together and learn from each other. Early on, I said, you ask, I talk, we grow. And that's kind of how it goes, is I want people to ask questions, but more importantly, I want all of us to come together and share our stories, to give each other answers, to give each other encouragement. There's so much negativity in the world, and there's so many people that want to put their energy and their time and their effort into tearing others down, into being this negative input in the world, or simply just coasting by, not realizing how much potential they have. And I want the Jason Elliott Show to really grab anybody who has something to talk about. I've had someone ask if they can come on and talk about their sexual assault. And when that person decides that they're absolutely ready, we're going to talk about sexual assault. I'm actually hoping to have somebody on even to talk about things, yes, serious, but things like being gluten-free. So I have a few friends that, like me, can't have gluten. And so we want to have an episode where we talk about eating without eating gluten and what happens and how you can be gluten intolerant and why. So we have such a wide range. And it's like Nancy just says, what a varied group of guests. I like having varied group of guests and varied group of topics because we are a varied group of people in this world. There are so many of us that we are definitely unique, but it's really important to remember that being unique and being different doesn't make you less than, or doesn't make you, my word is slipping. It doesn't mean that you can't make a contribution just because you're different. And so that's one of the things that we do around here is we make sure that our stories get told. Sam is saying hi and bless you. Thank you. Nancy says bless you. Hey, Kirk and Sam are both here. I'm going to give a special shout out to Freddie Lutz. Freddie is the owner of an amazing establishment, Freddie's Beach Bar. I'll be there on Saturday. Showtime is at 8 p.m. And that's something else we do here on the Jason Elliott Show is we shamelessly plug ourselves. So I always tell y'all when I'm going to have an event coming up or when I'm going to be performing or things like that. And hopefully everybody can do that too when you're the guests on the show. So, Charles says, can I come on? I would really like to get on. How do I get on the show? Being on the show is so easy, it's not even funny. basically, all you got to do is shoot me a message and let me know what is it exactly you want to talk about. So a lot of people say, I want to be on the show. And I say, okay, what would you like to talk about? What do people need to know? I'm not sure yet. Okay, no problem. Think on it and then let me know. You know, and there are some people that say, actually, never mind, I don't want to be on the show because I can't think of a topic. I'll just write your name down and I'll remember you for later, and if I come up with a topic, then we can talk about it. Or if you have something, we can kind of hone that in to something, you know, something that people can ask questions about. So totally, if you want to be on the show, the Jason Elliott Show, just shoot me a message. It can be if you've got a crazy story about, you know, like these talents that you have. Awesome, let's show them off. If you want to talk about, you know, like overcoming this very particular trial in your life that has shaped your vision and moving forward, awesome. Nancy, who's watching right now, who's got some great commentary tonight, you know, she's got a very specific work field, and so she could talk to us about reaching out to those individuals in need. And you know, I get on here a lot and talk about sexual health, and we've had firefighters on here talking about what it's like to be a firefighter. And so if there's something that you know a lot about, we can put you on the show so other people can learn too. If there's something that you've overcome and you've got a lesson that you think needs to be shared, we'll put you on the show. It's super easy to do. All you got to do is let me know, and then make sure you have an iPhone with the Facebook app on it, and you're available at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to go live, because this is a live feed. There is a little bit of a delay, but it's not like to be censored or anything like that. It's just because technology sucks. But it is live, and that's really cool because we can interact with each other. So, you know, when I get up here and I'm talking about sexual health things, people can ask me, wait, can you explain the difference between the internal condom and the external condom again? Or, hey, actually, I missed that. Can you show that again? Or, oh, that's cool. Can you bring that closer to the camera so I can see that model of an HIV cell? You know, like, we can actually interact, and that's what it's all about. So, yes, if you want to be on the show, let's make it happen. Nancy says, thank you for the shout out. Well, thank you, Nancy, for all that you do. And keep that in mind. If you have an iPhone, Nancy, you'd be great. I think a lot of people would be interested, especially with the seasons coming up now, to hear what you do in the community. Vicky is here, and Sean is also here. Peyton and Derek and Brett. Look, all these super wonderful people are coming in. Luann says, or you have a topic and can't catch a break in your schedule to get on there. Ha ha ha. Well, you know, I would rather have more people come on the Jason Elliott Show and share their stories than me hog all the airtime every week. And here's why. Because my big goal for this show is that it's not just going to be a 7 o'clock show on Thursday nights on Facebook. I want this to get bigger. I want it to grow. That's why I always ask you every single week, hey, will you do me a favor and just hit that share button down there? Or down there? Or down somewhere here, wherever it is. I always ask you to please just share it, because I need other people to know that this is happening, because I want people on the show. I want people to learn, and my big goal, like I said, is that this isn't just going to be a Facebook Live show. My big goal is not that I'm just going to be on here at 7 o'clock and then that's the only time you hear from me throughout the whole week. My goal is that this is going to turn into something bigger. Now, I don't have to have this whole syndicated daytime talk show that's like the top rated and I'm winning all kinds of awards. However, if that's what the Lord is destined for me to do, I'm going to say, thank you, Jesus, that I'm going to do it. But in all seriousness, you know, I don't have to have that, but that's the direction I see this going. I think we need to have real people having real conversations about real stories, and I love to highlight that, and I think it's super important. So always share your story and always share my show, and then we're going to see that happening. And not only that, but what this has led to is people saying, hey, I see you do that on Thursdays. Do you ever do that in person, like seminars? Yes, I certainly can. So if you ever want to have an episode of the Jason Elliott Show, say with like a community group, or if you have a group of parents of LGBT kids and they want to have like a Jason Elliott mini session, totally let me know, because I'm bookable and I'm available. Actually, next week, I'm really excited. I'm going to be at the VCCS Student Leadership Conference with the Virginia Community College Systems as a keynote speaker. It's my first time being a keynote speaker, and I'm so excited that I'm really not even upset that I have to speak at 8:30 on a Saturday morning. And I'm going to go out and basically talk about my journey from being a community college to a student at the University of Virginia to now where I am. All the trials and tribulations of my journey, and wrap it up with the 3 points, or the 3 big lessons that I learned that kept me going. Because I think a lot of times we hear that, I'm here now and I feel so great and you can do it too. And we hear a lot of people saying, I did it and you can do it too. But what we never really hear is that in between of like, this is where I started and this is where I am. But let's talk about where I used to be in the middle. So that's what I like to share. So you can book me in person if a live feed isn't enough for you too. Let's see who's on here. Nancy said, dang, no iPhone, Android. Well, I tell you what, Facebook is working right now. As of earlier this week, I still couldn't bring somebody on the show who was on a different operating system. However, I'm going to throw this out for anybody in the Charlottesville area, or if you're going to bring me out to wherever you are on a Thursday night, I will sit down with you in person. When Steven was here for the Jason Elliott show, we legit sat right here, and I sat over there, and we sipped wine and we talked to each other in person. So if anybody is in the Charlottesville area, or you'd like to pay for my travel costs, then we can come to a Jason Elliott show on location. So Nancy, don't give up hope. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I've got all this will, and we can find a big old way. Let's see, who else is joining us? Mr. K is here, hello. Sandra, and Joey, and Kyrie, and Jacob. All of these people. This is great. And Luann says, yay, that conference is actually where I met you last year. And it sure is. Thanks for the vote of confidence. She says that I'm going to be awesome and they're going to love me. And I certainly hope so. So just to kind of give you a little bit of the where was I and where am I now. A few years ago, I was attending this conference as a community college student. And don't worry, I'm not going to give you my whole spiel because then they might call me and be like, never mind, you can't come and talk. But this was actually the very first student leadership conference I ever attended when I was a community college student. And all, 2-3 years that I was able to attend, I attended as a community college student. And I loved every last second of it. And I knew at that conference, I said at that conference, one day I'm going to come back and I'm going to be a speaker. I said it then. And then it never quite really happened. And then last year, I got asked to come back and talk about, hey, so you went to a community college and then you transferred to a university. Can you help with a workshop on how to be a successful transfer student? So I helped. I was a co-presenter, basically, and we talked about successful transfers from a community college to a university. And at that event, I mentioned that I would not be opposed to an invitation to be a speaker, or at least just to have my own session. And I said, I'll do a session next year. I'd love it. That'd be great if you can work that out. And then it was said, well, what about one of our general speakers? And I was like, holy cows, I would love that, sure. And part of me didn't think that it was really going to happen because I have no real background. I have nothing to show that I can be a speaker. I have no qualifications aside from me getting on this show every single week and me trying to do little things throughout the community. And guess what? It was enough. Because I got an email several weeks back and they said, congratulations, you've been selected by our committee to come speak. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what? So they said, would you be interested? And of course, I responded and said, absolutely. Thank you so much for this honor. I appreciate it. And I said, man, this is going to be great. I'm excited. And now, like, it's the week before. I'm terrified. I am not even going to lie to you. I'm not quite sure yet exactly what I'm going to say. I'm really nervous about having a PowerPoint behind me because I just don't know how that's going to work either. But all those years ago, I said I'm going to be a speaker at this conference. And last year, I got to be a co-presenter. And I thought, man, this is everything. This year, it's happening. So, bada bing, bada boo. Look what happens when you have Jason Elliott's show on in the room. I don't know what that was. Basically, that's just me saying, you know what, if you got a story, let's get you on here, because you never know what doors are going to open because you were on the show. But more importantly, there's somebody that could watch this, or someone that could share this with someone who needs to watch this, who would hear your story and know that they're not alone. They would hear your story and get encouraged to share theirs. You know, like, maybe there's somebody who's always wanted to be a professor. And if you're a professor, you would say, hey, like, let me be on the show. And if they saw you on the show, they would know to reach out to you and they could, you know, learn from it. Maybe there's somebody who has always felt like, you know, they couldn't quite be themselves. And then they tune in and I'm sharing my coming out story and how I was suicidal and I was in an abusive relationship. I was homeless. And now look at me, I'm a freaking keynote speaker at a conference. You know, like, somebody needs to hear a story. And so I feel like this is that platform. So that's what the Jason Elliott Show is. Having a couple more people coming in here. Hello, 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 Mr. St. James and Keisha. Oh, Keisha, hi. It's good to see you. And my Aunt Sandra from good old St. Louis way. I get to see her in a couple of weeks. Sherry says, Jason, I've heard you. You're a great public speaker. You hold people's interest very well. I've seen it. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Sometimes I don't exactly know why it is I'm holding their attention, but I figured if I can get your attention, I'll try and, you know, take it and use it for something. So, yes, that's exciting. Corey's here. Hi, Corey. He's down in the North Carolina area. Scott, hello, sir, from right around the corner here. Jacob is giving some hearts because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Jacob actually might be on the show sometime soon. Another person that'd be really fun to have on the show, I don't know if he would ever do it, is Mr. McHottie, Jeff McLovin. I don't know if you'd ever want to be on the show or not, but I actually met this guy when we were working on a national campaign, and he does these really cool branding services, and he's so creative, and like, that's another thing. It's something you don't know a lot of people that do this, and so, you know, that's what we're about here, sharing our stories. Cody is here. Hello, hello. And I want to take just a second to, like, a pause, kind of like final thought-ish, because I do have a lot that I have to do tonight. Because, like I said, I'm performing in DC this weekend. Actually, I do. I have to go pack for my show at Freddy's. Freddy's, 8 o'clock showtime. If you're anywhere in Arlington or Alexandria, it's just right around the corner from you. If you're in DC, just pop over the water. It's going to be a really good show at Freddy's. So that's one thing that I've got to do. The other thing is 1 month from today, I am holding my 3rd annual World AIDS Day party. So we are having the Little White Party here in Charlottesville, and it's modeled after the White Party, basically the Circuit Party. And these were really big early on in the HIV movement, as kind of a way to build community, to reduce stigma, to show that, you know, people did matter even if they had HIV. That's what a lot of this background was. So a few years ago, I decided that we needed to have one like that here in Virginia. But I had to tone it down because I just wasn't ready for, like, the big, massive thing. So it actually started right here in my living room. and we had the first annual Little White Party, and it was a lot of fun. And it's grown and grown and grown. So I want to take just a second and tell you about the Little White Party 2017. It's happening on December 2nd, and it's going to be at 2nd Street Gallery here in Charlottesville. I will tell you, it's a $10 suggested donation at the door. If you don't have $10, come out anyway. If you've got more than $10, come on and pay for the person that doesn't have $10. But it's an awesome, awesome time. So we're having it in this gallery. There's going to be an incredible exhibit going on. I'm not going to give you too many details about it, but some artists that you might know, especially if you're from around this area, you'll definitely know some of the artists that we have. So there's going to be an art exhibit going on all night long. There's going to be free HIV testing for anybody who needs it, free condoms, free lube, free dental dams, some swag. It's all going to be there all night long. In addition to that, we are getting sponsored to have a little bit of food hanging around for us. There's going to be a cash bar there. All of those sales are going to be all of the liquor sales. The proceeds are going to be donated to the gallery for being such an incredible advocate for HIV awareness. So all the bar sales go towards keeping this gallery up and running, which is fabulous. So make sure you drink up. And it's great because it's downtown, so there's parking there that you can leave your vehicle overnight, and you can buy an Uber to get you back home or to your hotel. So there's all of that. On top of it, we've got some amazing entertainment. So we're going to have Miss Gay Harrisonburg, Chanel is going to be there. We also have Miss Charlottesville Pride, Max, who's going to be in the house. And then we've got a couple special surprises. There might be a little girl who swallows swords. Who knows? There may be someone else doing some things that you haven't seen before that have to deal with pasties. But, you know, you just never know what's going to happen at the White Party. There's going to be a photo booth by one of my favorite photographers, Martin Kyle of Permove Photography, so he's going to be there. There's a wonderful DJ coming in, and she's going to be spinning on the ones and twos all night long to give us plenty of tunes to dance to. What else is there? Door prizes and raffles like nobody's business. Oh my gosh, it keeps going on and on. We've partnered with some amazing photographers who are actually going to come out and shoot the event from like a candid standpoint, so that way everybody can get a snapshot of the night. We have awesome sponsors who are getting in on these prizes. So actually right before I got on here, Impulse K Social Club wants to get in on that. We've got a vineyard or two, possibly a brewery getting in on there. Like I said, another photographer is donating a portrait session. We've got a couple of restaurants that are donating gift certificates. We've had people just donating things. So there's going to be all kinds of good stuff. So if you're anywhere in Virginia December 2nd, I am just freaking asking you to come on out and celebrate World AIDS Day, and come on out. So what I'm going to do, and Tiffany is actually asking for the Facebook page for the White Party. I'm going to post that on this video. You can also go to my page, my personal page, and it should be one of the top posts. Or you can just search The Little White Party 2017, and it should come right back up. But like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a link to the event right in the comments here, so that way everybody can see it. Nancy wants to know, are we going to be giving out free hugs that night? And this is what I have to say to that. A lot of the night, I'm going to be standing right by the door, and I'm going to give a hug to every single person that comes in that door. Because the Little White Party was something that just kind of started up here, and then it got some juice from right here, and now it's gone from literally a house party in my living room to us having one of the most beautiful galleries in Charlottesville, all of these awesome sponsors, and I want to see a lot of people there. I want that gallery packed out. So if anybody's in Charlottesville, or if you're just looking for a reason to get out of town for a weekend, come on, because December 2nd is where it's at. It's gonna be a really, really good time. So You don't have to wear 100% white. That's like the one question everybody asks. Do I have to wear all white? But I'm going to ask you to keep in mind, this is called the Little White Party. So wear as much white as you can. I'm going to be in white head to toe. I'm not cutting corners. I'm the host. I got to do it. Someone asked, can I wear light khaki pants? And since it was a dude who doesn't have any white pants, I said, if you can't find white pants, you can wear your light khakis. That's fine. But I'm encouraging everybody to really like embrace the spirit of the white party and come on. Some people have said, can I wear crazy white costumes? Yes. Some people said, can I wear a beautiful ball gown? Yes. Can I just wear a white t-shirt and, like white pants? Yes. This is open to anybody. Like I said, if you can afford a $10 donation, that money is going right back into making sure that this party happens every year, because we just really need to create awareness about HIV. We need to reduce stigma. We need to help people in these resources. So yes, absolutely, this is for anybody. Come on out. And if you can't get $10, give what you can, and just know that it goes right back into making sure this party keeps going on. But yeah, everybody is welcome. Anybody can get an HIV test if you want. Anybody can take condoms. Obviously 21 and up to drink. But the music's going to be great. The photos are going to be fun. The entertainment's going to be like something you've never seen. So definitely do come on out. Oh yes, that's good. Jacob says he wants information. Jonathan says what time. So it starts at 8 o'clock sharp. So it is at 8 o'clock. We're going to be wrapping up by like midnight. We're going to start kind of toning it down. Only because I want to keep in mind that we are having volunteers come out to staff the event. So if you don't want to be a party goer, but you want to work the door, come on. If you want to pour at the bar, come on. I need volunteers. So yeah, we're going to start wrapping up around midnight, and basically that'll give you plenty of time to wrap up and then hit one of the downtown establishments if you want to dance for a couple hours more. But it's also not so late that you're going to be getting home and feeling dead. But we're starting at 8 o'clock sharp. That's when I want everybody to be coming in there. So like I said, I'll be posting that down in these comments, and I'm going to be posting a lot over the next month because I want everybody to see it. Somebody asked, Chance says, when are you coming to Nashville? Chance also says, I wish I had some vacation time. I'd be there in a heartbeat. I mean, if you figure out a way to get down here, it's going to be worth it. But when am I coming to Nashville? When somebody books me. So if you want to book me to speak, to perform, or whatever, I'll come on out. I have never been to Nashville before. I've been to Knoxville to work at a couple of places in Knoxville, and probably in the springtime we'll be back there. But I'll come to Nashville sometime. Why not? Mr. Bauer's here, Brandon is here, Larry is here, Jeremy is here, and Wayne is here. We're all just talking about all kinds of things. I was given a huge, crazy spiel about the Little White Party because I'm super excited about it. And I hope that everybody will come. Like I said, watch for those posts. If you happen to have a business or you want to sponsor in some way, shoot me a message because I am totally open to anybody else that wants to sponsor this event. Whether it be some light hors d'oeuvres from your restaurant, a gift certificate, a gift basket, whatever you got, bring it on out. Bring it on out. All right. Y'all, I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired a lot. If anybody's got a question or something you want to say, now is the time to do it because Daddy's getting sleepy. Oh, look at that. Joseph Williams is here. Hey. Hey, Joe. Good to see you. And Jonathan is tuning in too. This is great. I love it. I love when people love each other. I love when people say hi to each other. It's a great time. And let's see. All right, there you go. Nicholas says, when and where is the white party? That sounds like a good question to wrap up the night with. So, let me give you this real quick. The white party. The white party is happening December 2nd in Charlottesville, Virginia, at 2nd Street Gallery. It's going to start at 8 o'clock and it's only $10 to get in. That's a suggested donation, so if you want to give a little less, I'll still love you, and if you want to give more, I'll still love you. But it's $10 suggested donation at the door. We've got entertainment, dancing, libations, merriment, photographers, and me giving out hugs at the door just for Nancy. But it's going to be a great time, so if you're anywhere in Virginia, make sure you have plans to come out December 2nd to the White Party for HIV awareness. If you don't know your status or if you're due for a test, get your finger stuck on December 2nd and get your test. If you already know your status, great, come out and party with us and bring a friend too. That's the little white party. The rest of what we talked about tonight was really just the Jason Elliott show, because a lot of people say, what in the world's the Jason Elliott show? I think the Jason Elliott show is a great time. That's what it is. It's a weekly gathering where I talk about stuff and you talk about stuff and we learn and we grow and we just have a really good time sharing our stories and the journeys, the lessons that we've learned. That's what it's all about. If you need a platform to share your story, the Jason Elliott Show is where you need to be. So send me a message and let me know. What's something you know a lot about? What's a trial that you've overcome? And we'll talk about it. If you just have a topic, shoot that to me and I'll find somebody that fits the bill. But that's what we do each and every single Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up and get some things going. But I just want to say thank you for watching. For well over a year and a half now we've been doing this, and I'm not going to stop anytime soon. So if you're tired of seeing me, log out of Facebook. And eventually I'll be on your TV too. But in the meantime, I just want to leave you with this little piece of advice that I give you every single week, so I know you can say it with me, and it goes something like this. From dreams to goals, and goals to realities, because dreams, they're for those who are sleeping. If you're alive and awake and watching the Jason Elliott Show, that means you're alive and awake enough to work towards those dreams. I mean, they're no longer dreams, but they're goals. Goals are attainable. So just work hard and long, and before you know it, those goals will become your reality. Your reality is yours and yours alone. There's nobody else on this entire planet that can make your reality for you. And more importantly, that means there's nobody else on this entire planet that can stop you from making it for yourself. So dream big, work hard, and then bask in the reality that is yours. And come on back next week at Thursdays, 7 p.m., and tell us all about it on the Jason Elliott Show. Until then, I wish you a wonderful evening, a fantastic weekend, a great week ahead, until we meet again. But just know I believe in you. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night. Look for that link below with the White Party information, and we'll see you next week. Thanks so much. Tell somebody you love them, too, by the way. Good night.